Greetings, Tiny Planet Explorers. I just realized I've made a huge mistake today. I'm sitting in a swivelly chair, which means the whole video, I'm gonna be doing this. I will try to resist the urge as much as possible, as today we be slurping. Oh, it's hot, it's very hot. What just happened? When I went to take a slurp, I briefly turned into a cartoon. Oh man, that's messed me up. What is that smell? Oh man, that smells like a segue into today's theme, which is cartoons. My intentions were gonna be to try and dial back the weird a little bit so we could appreciate the innocence and the beauty of cartoons, but I'm not entirely sure I can make that promise anymore. If you have never seen my Slurp series before, it is essentially me taking your most desired questions and slurping them into oblivion. Let's dive in. Jenna asks, what was the last cartoon you watched? So after countless recommendations and frankly, quite a lot of awesome costumes at Comic-Con, I finally got round to watching Over the Garden Wall. Oh boy. What a show. Why did I not watch this sooner? It's a fairly simple cartoon, I think it's fair to say, but its pure simplicity is what makes it so charming and beautiful and inspiring. I watched it and couldn't get it out my head for days. That's how I know I really liked something. Is it up here somewhere? Where are you? There you are. There it is. Would you just look at that beautiful artwork? My only complaint is, what's this? PG scary scenes? I mean, yeah, there were some dark scenes, but what is this? Why is this not a sticker? You've ruined the beautiful box art. Anyway, Lydia asks, do you consider cartoons or cartoonish styles as art? Yes. It is absolutely art. But that's a question that branches into something a lot more broad. What is art? And to quickly answer that, I think it's all about your perspective of what art is. I'm firmly on the side of the fence that says art can pretty much be anything. If somebody has made something with the intentions of being art, then hey, it's art. But holy no, we can't get into that now. But to answer your question, yes, cartoons are totally art. The amount of time and love that is poured into cartoons, it's insane. Not all cartoons, but some cartoons, like Over the Garden Wall that we were just talking about. I feel like that was very much a passion project for Patrick McHale. And yeah, it's art. It's art, okay? It's art. Good Winter asks, do you know Tom and Jerry? So when I was younger, I used to hate Tom. I thought Jerry was the coolest character of all cartoons. You go back to watch it now and Jerry's kind of a jerk. I totally sympathize with Tom now that I'm seeing it from a different perspective. Jerry, I cannot believe you won me over as a kid. You should be ashamed of yourself, tormenting that poor cat. Asia asks, what character from Rugrats was your favorite? All right, well, Phil and Lil annoyed the hell out of me. They're practically the same character anyway, so I'm just gonna... Tommy was also kind of a jerk. He got them into so much trouble, and you know who the voice of reason was? Chucky. Chucky was the voice of reason. Chucky was the smart one. He knew what was up. However, still wasn't my favorite character. You know who my favorite character was? Is Reptar. Reptar's the favorite character, is the dinosaur. Awkward Cinnamon Roll asked, what cartoon did you love as a kid but hate with a passion now? I don't hate much with a passion. I dislike the way certain things have gone. For example, I used to love Powerpuff Girls as a kid, and when they said they were bringing that back, I was very excited. I don't think I would have watched it again, but I thought, damn, now kids of today get to experience it. And what they've made is kind of not the spirit of what Powerpuff Girls used to be. From what I've seen, it's too memey, you know? It's too full of memes. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum. Alex asks, what cartoon did you watch all the time as a kid? There was not just one cartoon I watched all the time as a kid. I absorbed every cartoon that I could get my eyes on. To name a few, Samurai Jack, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, Dexter's Lab, Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, Johnny Bravo, I Am Weasel, the Powerpuff Girls, Wacky Races, and so many more. Cartoons really were a huge staple of my childhood. Oh, Ed, Edd and Eddy. Pretty much anything on Cartoon Network in the 90s. Danny asks, do you prefer the style of old cartoons or newer cartoons? Now, when you say old cartoons, every era has a wildly different style of animation as technology progressed. I mean, drawn cell animation will always have a place in my heart over digital animation. But if we're talking about the cartoons, I think, here's what I'm gonna say. New cartoons that emulate that nostalgic feeling of old cartoons are my favorite, because we have the technology now to make the animation beautiful. But also, the pacing and the storytelling is so good now. I think Adventure Time is the classic example. It feels like a very nostalgic show, but it is so well paced. It is snappy and to the point, and it doesn't linger anywhere it doesn't need to. Go back and watch old cartoons now, they're really slow. I tried to watch Dexter's Lab the other day, it's really slow. So although old cartoons will always have a place in my heart and really just shaped who I am today, new cartoons that just nail it like that is what I love right now. Lucy asks, what cartoon would you like to voice act in? I mean, I've always wanted to cameo as a voice in Adventure Time, but now that that's coming to an end, I don't see that ever happening. But Rick and Morty, that's still going strong. I'd love to do a voice in Rick and Morty. It's just full of weird space aliens, and that's my forte. That's what I specialize in. That's on my CV, just one line, it just says, specializes in weird space monsters. That's all you need to know about me, really. Ink asks, what makes a good cartoon in your opinion? I think, like anything, a cartoon is as good as its story. It doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as the story is solid, then that's really what's going to engage me. But that's my opinion now. As a kid, I would have said crazy characters getting blown up or something like that. But like I said earlier, going back and watching old cartoons now, there's only so many times an anvil can get dropped on the character's head and keep me entertained now. So now, it is stories that really get me engaged. Purple Robin asks, which cartoon character do you think you resemble the most? Okay, so this is a 3D animation, not exactly a cartoon, but I can't help but feel that I resemble Flint Lockwood from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I mean, do you see what I mean? And the worst part is I don't know how I feel about it. Chewie asks, if you had Wanda and Cosmo, what would you wish for? I'd probably wish for the live-action Fairly Odd Parents film to just poof. Never happened. And the final question is from Matt Faulkner, and he asks, did you ever try to fit a huge gobstopper in your mouth like Ed, Edd and Eddy? Yes, Matt. Yes, I did. And I ended up in A&E because I swallowed it. But the cartoon, ooh, it made it look so appealing. You just throw it in your mouth and it just enlarges your cheek and just sits there. I think cartoons may have been an influence on me as a kid. Maybe. And that is all the time we have for this episode of Slurp. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for submitting your questions. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you would like your very own Slurp mug, they are available on my online shop, KickThePj.com. However, I do want to say I am releasing a couple of new pieces of merchandise in the next week-ish. So if you want to wait for those, you can. And we're going to try our hardest to get everything to you by Christmas. All right, guys, I'm going to go watch some cartoons now. See you in the next video. Bye.